Hello, friends. Let's discuss current affairs. And today's first questions on the Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer. Whom the following Indians were honored with the prestigious Pulitzer Prize 2022 in the feature category, photography category. All of them actually. And what? They kind of got the award for capturing the numerous cremations, the burials during the second wave of COVID in our country. The second wave was quite devastating. It Because most of us had become quite lax, especially after the subdued first wave, and things had gone pretty slow in terms of COVID after the first wave. So, in April and May last year, things went seriously bad. There were thousands of deaths across the country, and these, what we say, uh, photographers captured those cremations and all the chaos at the hospitals and all. But see, normally when photographs are taken, permission is sought. It is believed that these persons did not take any permission. So because see, this is a very private moment. Cremation, burial is a very private moment, and these are all private moments, very sad moments. Permission is sought, but they didn't take permission, and apparently that's been the criticism leveled at these guys. All said and done, the Pulitzer Prize. So we could write a little about the Pulitzer Prize. Yeah, you could write this. The Pulitzer Prize started 1917, started by and named after Joseph Pulitzer. Joseph Pulitzer. Awarded in 21 categories. Yes, 21 categories. Okay. These 21 categories include, newspaper journalism, typical newspaper journalism, literary accomplishments like the best novel, best work of fiction, work of non-fiction, and of course music. They give out awards in for musical compositions as well. So newspaper journalism, literary achievements, and musical accomplishments or musical compositions. There's something more about the Pulitzer Prize. The most prestigious of the 21 categories is the Public Service Medal. Public Service Medal. So you could write this, the Public Service Medal. While these guys got the Feature Photography Award, the most important prize of this 21 category, in the 21 categories, is the Public Service Medal. Public Service Medal. And this was won by Washington Post. Washington Post. See, the Washington Post is a newspaper based in America, and usually these prizes are given to Americans. Actually, okay, you please know that these are given to not the Americans, but restricted more or less to American journalism and musical as well as literary achievements. I want you to know something here, that these guys had won the award. Before I discuss WAPO, these guys were working for a company called Reuters. That's how you pronounce it, Reuters. Reuters. The full name is Thomson Reuters, but you could call it Reuters. Okay, it's a financial data and news collection agency. So they were all working for a news agency called Reuters. Now, as far as Washington Post is concerned, this is seen as a liberal leftist newspaper with a serious leftist bent. It's one of those woke newspapers. Okay, a lot of Indian journalists write for this. You would find Barkha Dutt among them writing for this. Rana Ayub, yeah. So the usual suspects, they write this. So Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos. You know Jeff Bezos, the chairperson and founder of Amazon. He owns Washington Post in his personal capacity. Well, I think that should be fine. Yeah. Too much of awards is bad. Former finance minister and economist Rodrigo Chavez was recently sworn in as Costa Rica's president for a 4-year mandate. The capital of Costa Rica is San Jose. You see, this is the capital is highlighted in star mark kind of thing. So you have San Jose. It's pronounced with an H. Jose. Fair. So we could do one thing, given the choices and all that. I'll just take you to the countries, where the capital is mentioned. I'll give you the name of the country and also the name of the leader of these countries. Fair? Shall we start then? We'll start with Costa Rica. Of course, the capital is San Jose and the president is Rodrigo Chavez. Okay. Panama City. The capital, the country is called Panama. The country is called Panama and this is the capital city, Panama City. Okay. Who is the president here? Laurentino Cortijo. Laurentino Cortijo. Okay. Managua. Managua is the capital of, Managua is the capital of Nicaragua. So, right, this is Managua. Right, Nicaragua. Nicaragua. Capital Managua. And the president is Daniel Ortega. Daniel Ortega. Okay. Then we have Tegucigalpa. This is Tegucigalpa, Honduras' capital. Okay. You could write this Honduras. This is Honduras. Capital is Tegucigalpa. And the president is a leftist named, this lady named Xiomara Castro. Xiomara Castro. Then we have Belize, whose capital is Belmopan, mentioned here, Belmopan. Okay. And the president of Belize is Johnny Bricino. It's not a president here. In the case of the other countries, other 4 countries, you have the president, but in the case of Belize, you have a prime minister. Because it's still considered, not a republic, because the head of the state of Belize is a British monarch. Even today, Queen Elizabeth is the monarch of Belize. Okay, so Johnny Bricino is the prime minister. Okay, see, this entire area was ruled by Spain. This Mexico and all these areas. There's the main language spoken here is Brazil. Sorry, main language spoken here is Spanish. Now the whole of South America is also, except for Brazil, now that I mentioned Brazil, the whole of South America except for Brazil is Spanish, was part of the Spanish Empire. Brazil was a part of the Portuguese Empire. That's why the main language spoken in Portugal is, the main language spoken in Brazil is Portuguese. Okay? So I'm a little lost, I guess. The world's longest glass bottom bridge was recently opened to tourists in this place, Vietnam. Amazing. Now, would you be standing here? Would you like to stand here and then have a, stand here at the lowest point, or the highest point, and then look through from the bottom to the glass? It would be a scary experience, over 150 meters. So how long is this bridge? What's the name of the bridge? You could write this. The name of the world's longest glass bridge is Bach Long. The name itself is long. Yeah, Batch Long Bridge. Batch Long Bridge. 632 meters. 632 meters. 632 meters. 632 meters. So, uh, batch long means white dragon. White dragon. In China also they opened a glass bridge like this, but it developed cracks. Imagine the horror of people. Oh my God. We are standing there and it suddenly develops cracks. Oh man. Yeah. So, where is Vietnam? If you look at India, just rough. Okay. You have Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia. This is Vietnam. It's a very thin stretch of land actually. It's a predominantly Buddhist nation. But it's, see, you have Vietnam, you have Laos, you have China, you have North Korea. This stretch is all communist. These four countries are run by dictators. Though Vietnam has a democracy on paper, of course, on paper they have elections, everything, but it is, remember, it's always, it's always a communist party that one wins this sham elections. Technically, there are other parties allowed to exist, but they're all subservient to the communist party. That's how it works. Yeah, it's just, these are all single party, unitary, Leninist, Marxist states actually. Yeah. Taiwan's capital is Taipei, and the prime minister, the president is Tsai Ing-wen. Taiwanese dollar is a currency. Taiwanese dollar is a currency. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Our guy in Philippines, the new guy in Philippines, running the show there. Ferdinand Marcos Bang Bang. That's his what we say nickname, or Bong Bong. You can pronounce it as Ferdinand Bong Bong Marcos Jr. Now he is the new president of Philippines. Now I want you to understand something. Here it's mentioned Junior, and this guy is a very controversial chap. Much more controversial was his father. Who was his father? His father was a guy called Ferdinand Marcos Senior. His junior written the same, senior. His papa was senior. The papa was a dictator of. The senior guy was a dictator of, Philippines between 1965 to 1986. 1986. 86, yes. 1986. Imagine, he ruled the country with an iron fist for 21 years, during which time his regime killed thousands and thousands of, persons in this country. He was pretty close to the United States, the Americans. So Americans never liked communism, and this is how Marcos became a darling of America, because he crushed the communist movement in his country. Jailed all those communist guys, socialist guys. He put them all in jail. Okay, so Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is the new president of Philippines. But ladies and gentlemen, who did he succeed? The outgoing president is a guy called Rodrigo Duterte. Rodrigo Duterte. It's Spanish, so you pronounce with a different accent where you suppress the air in your mouth. Okay? Rodrigo Duterte is the outgoing president of Philippines. What about the choices here? Nice. Hassan al-Bolkiah. Sorry, guys. Hassan al-Bolkiah uses, sorry, my eyes are burning these days. Too much screen time is eating into the eye, health of the eye. Hassan al-Bolkiah is the king of Brunei. King of Brunei. See, when you have this island of Borneo, okay, you have Malaysia, at the tip is Singapore, this is all Indonesia and all. So this island of Borneo, Borneo, comprises three countries. The southern part is Indonesia, the northern part is Malaysia. Within the northern part here is the small country of Brunei. It's a small country. It's a kingdom where the king is called Muda Hassan al-Wadullah Bolkiah. In short, Hassan al-Bolkiah. Okay. It's the only despotic monarchy in this region. Yes. Ismail Sabri Yaqub. Ismail Yaqub is the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Prime Minister of Malaysia. What about Leni Robredo? Leni Robredo is the new Vice President of Philippines. Vice President of Philippines. Joko Widodo is the President of Indonesia. Railtel launched PM Wani based access to its Wi-Fi at 100 stations across the country. Wani stands for Pradhan Mantri Wi-Fi Access Network. The PM Wani network is meant to provide free Wi-Fi access to passengers and whoever frequents the stations. Actually, this is free and completely sponsored by the government. But as of today, we have 6,102 stations which are Wi-Fi. In India, 6102 stations have Wi-Fi. Can you beat this? Yes, 6,100 stations. Take a round figure. 6,000 stations in India have have Wi-Fi, and the plan is to create free Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi and give complete access through this PM Wani to all stations by June 30th. June 30th. Yeah. So they are going to start slowly, but by June 30th, all stations across India will be part of one network, PM Wani. A severe cyclonic storm Asani recently lashed coastal Andhra Pradesh and Odisha with gusty winds up to 120 kmph. It was the first cyclonic storm of the season and was named by Sri Lanka. Asani is a Sinhalese word which means wrath. Wrath means anger. It means anger. In which bhasha? Sinhalese. Main language is Sinhalese, the main language of the people of Sri Lanka. The Sinhala people, born of the lion, is Sinhala. Okay, so in the Sinhalese bhasha, the word Asani means wrath, anger. Wrath means anger. See, these cyclones, wherever they struck, there is a particular order in which they are named. Like for example, if you look at this cyclone has been named Asani. Before this, it was called Jawad. Yeah, Jawad was named by Saudi Arabia. Now, if you go, the names are in alphabetical order. You can see this here. Okay. The next, after Asani, the next cyclone will be called Sitrang, and the name would have come from Thailand. Then Mandus, Mocha. Correct? That's how it is. So, cyclones are named so that we don't forget them, and typically they should not be insensitive. Because there are so many cyclones. You needed an identifier. Like humans have names, cyclones have names, so that people could identify the certain level of destruction or whatever it is with that particular cyclone. Okay. And names are given so that people don't forget. People should learn lessons from cyclones. Yeah. So, and Sri Lanka is in very bad shape. Sri Lanka has a new prime minister. What's the new prime minister's name? Ranil Wickramasinghe. He is Pakka pro India. Ranil Wickramasinghe. Wickramasinghe. He is Pakka pro India guy. Remember, Sri Lanka's prime minister is Ranil and the president is Gotabaya Rajapaksa. You already know the name. Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Myanmar's ruler is named Min Liang. That's the dictator's name. Ong. Min Liang Ong. Maldives, Ibrahim Mohammed Soleh. Ibrahim Mohammed Soleh. Soleh. Bangladesh, what's her name? Sheikh Hasina. Sheikh Hasina. Thailand Prime Minister is Pradyut Chan-o-cha. You can say Pradyut or you can write Pradyut also. Both are fine. Chan-o-cha. Okay? Chale. Eminent literature and Padma Shri recipient Rajat Kumar passed away recently. He was associated with the Odia language. See, he is well known. I'm not going to give his names and the names of his books and all, but he was extremely well known as someone who used to give this commentary during the Puri Jagannath Rath Yatra. He would give live commentary of the Rath Yatra. Okay, so anyway, to bring in something different here, see, Canara Bank. The word Canara comes from Kannada. Fair. Just for information, Bhupendra, Gujarat's Chief Minister is Bhupendra Patel. Bhupendra Patel. Full name of Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister is Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin. Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin. MK Stalin. Okay. Odisha Chief Minister is Naveen Patnaik. You know this name. Yeah. Uddhav Thackeray runs Maharashtra. Karnataka Basavaraj Bommai. Basavaraj Bommai. Okay. Indian Grandmaster Dommaraju Gukesh. Dommaraju, if you want the surname. Dommaraju Gukesh. Won which of the following titles? All of them actually. This year he's won all of them. And in one of my previous classes, I had wrongly mentioned. Sorry, guys. I had wrongly mentioned that Koniru Hampi was ranked world number 3. I'm so sorry, not world number 3. It was world. I don't know how I came to that. It is. I think she's ranked far beyond 100 actually. Now, as far as the top. Okay, world, India, both. Okay, world number 1 is Magnus Larsson. We are talking of men's players. Magnus, what's his Carlsen? Magnus Carlsen. He's from Norway. Norway, world number 1. Okay. We'll do one thing. This is men's, this is women's. Okay, then should we write India, top India? We'll below this we'll write this. Hugh Ifan is the world's top rated women's chess player. Top rated women chess player of China. Who? Ifan of China. Now, as far as Indians are concerned, the highest ranked is Vishwanathan Anand and Dronavilla Harika. This is world number 10. Dronavalli Harika. Dronavalli Harika. Okay. So yeah. Nepal's legendary climber Kami Rita Sherpa recently climbed Mount Everest, the tallest peak in the world, for a record 26th time. The man goes up and comes down just like that. Yeah, 26 times. That's phenomenal. People don't do it in the most mountaineers, some of the world's most uh, one of some of the world's most adept, proficient, expert mountaineers are not able to do it once. This man has done it 26 times. And we know that Mount Everest is about 8848 meters. It is 8848.8, but make it 8848, old height. Okay, and 8848 meters, and something more. In Nepal, Mount Everest. See, this is on the in on Nepal China border. Nepal China border. Nepal China border, and in the Nepalese bhasha, it is called Sagar Mata. Sagar Mata. In the Chinese bhasha, it's called Chomalungma. Chomalungma. Okay. But who was the first person to have climbed? Who were the first persons to have climbed Mount Everest? The first persons to have climbed Mount Everest are Edmund. Sorry, guys. So sorry. Edmund Hillary, and Tenzing Norgay. Tenzing Norgay of Nepal, Edmund Hillary of New Zealand. Hillary of New Zealand. Yeah, he belonged to New Zealand. And when did they do this? 29th May 1953. 1953. Fair, I guess. Alstom recently delivered India's first semi-high-speed regional train for the National Capital Region Transport Corporation in the RRTS first phase. The first phase is between Delhi and Meerut, but I want you to write the full form of RRTS first. Regional Rapid Transit System. Regional Rapid Transit System. Okay. So we have started this project. This is to connect Meerut, the Uttar Pradesh city of Meerut, with the national capital of Delhi. This is the distance is about 83 kilometers, and the speed of this particular network is about. I'm talking the trains on this network are likely to run at 180 kmph. So 180 kmph, 80 kilometers would mean less than 1 hour you could be there. So this would cut the time by about 3 hours. So today it takes about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. Yeah, then it would take only 1 hour, which is considerable amount of saving. Okay, so 180 kilometers per hour speed. That's why it's called semi high speed. The high speed would be plus 250 kilometers. Okay, and this project is going to cost something like 30,000 crore. 30,000 crore rupees. Got it? Meerut is also the place where the first shots of the 1857 revolt were fired on 10th May 1857. The first shots were fired in the town of Meerut. this was when, this is said to be the defining moment when the 1857 revolt started off. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called upon the people of the country to take part in the logo design contest for the G20 Presidency of India. In this contest, which of the following statements regarding the G20 are correct? All of them are correct. India is going to be the president of the G20 for about a year, that is starting December this year to November 2023. That India will take over from Indonesia. And as you know that the G20 has 20 members, group of 20 has 20 members. Not all 20 are countries, because 19 are countries, one is the European Union. But when you say 19 countries, they also include names like UK, France, Germany, Italy. Now they are individually members. They are individual members plus European Union members. Because the European Union comprises 27 member countries, not all 27 fit the bill for the G20. So what they've done is, these countries, by virtue of being among the top 20 in the world, they are already part of the G20. But when it comes to countries like Estonia, Poland, Austria, though they are nowhere in the top 20 in the world, we have them as members of the European Union. So they all are represented at the G20 through the European Union. Okay? So excavations are underway at 3 mounds in Rakhi Gadi, one of the largest settlements of the Harappan civilization. Rakhi Gadi is in Haryana. It's in Haryana. This is Rakhi Gadi. Where is it? Yeah, this is Rakhi Gadi. I want you to write a bit here. Rakhi Gadi dash largest and oldest of all Indus Valley sites. Next. Recent excavations, excavation is spelled there. Recent excavations reveal that the Indus Valley civilization may actually have been born, or maybe may actually have born in Haryana's Ghaggar basin. Ghaggar, this one. Yeah, Ghaggar basin. Ghaggar basin. Next. Excavations date the city around 5000 BC, 5000 years before Jesus Christ. 5000 years before Christ. So 5000 BC, which is very, very old. Yes, which means 7000 years old. 2000 now, 5000 those, 7000 years old. Last point. One of five cities to be developed as iconic archaeological attractions. Now you wonder what are the others. Yeah. So, one, Rakhi Gadi. This one, Rakhi Gadi, Haryana. Okay. Two, Hastinapur Hastinapur, Hastinapur, in brackets, Uttar Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Third one, Dholavira, Dholavira. This is Dholavira. It's in the Kutch. The run of Kutch. Dholavira, in brackets, Gujarat. Then Shiv Sagar, in brackets, Assam, ASSAM, Assam. And I'll write it here. Adi Chanallur, Nalluru. Adi Channuluru. I think that's how Adi Chanalluru. Nalluru. I know how to pronounce Nalluru. This is slightly difficult for me to pronounce. Tamil Nadu. Since it's a Tamil name, apologies guys if I got your pronunciation incorrect. Okay. I'll ask my Tamil friends here in the office how to pronounce this. So, no, it's a blank paper I have with me. I wanted to write how to pronounce kind of thing. So, anyway, I'll just keep this in mind. Section 124A of the Indian Penal Code was in news recently. It deals with the provisions of the law on sedition. Sedition means deshdro. Deshdro. In one way, deshdro. Treason. You know, someone who is a traitor, to try traitors of the country. Okay. See, you often would have, and this has come into news because of the Supreme Court's judgment on the sedition law. I don't know, but there is a tussle between the executive, that is the Union Council of Ministers led by the Prime Minister, and the Supreme Court in India, Supreme Court of India. Because Law Minister Kiran Rijiju had said that there is a Lakshman Rekha and no one should cross the Lakshman Rekha. When he say no one, talking of the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. Okay. So, you know this, there is this, when you look at a fraud, you say he's a 420. 420 comes from section 420 of the Indian Penal Code, which is about cheating. Okay. Now, in one of those group discussions, there was a topic was capital punishment and so someone said that if capital punishment, if not capital punishment, what's the alternative? So someone suggested, why not we look at life imprisonment? Life imprisonment. So someone else said that, well, a life imprisonment means that 14 years later the person would come out. See, look, life imprisonment is not about 14 years, not 20 years. Life imprisonment is for life till death. So if I am sentenced to life imprisonment, it means I'll remain in the prison till I die. Yes. But the minimum, if someone has to complete a particular term under life imprisonment, the minimum is 14 years. It's a minimum. 14 years is minimum. Okay. Otherwise, life imprisonment is life in prison till death. There is no duration for life imprisonment. Okay. Who of the following persons won the inaugural 2022 Miami Grand Prix for Red Bull? Red Bull is see, in this Formula One, there are two words you should be familiar with. One is driver, that is a constructor. The constructor is the company that provides the vehicle to the driver. So if you look at the constructor, in this case Red Bull. Okay, Red Bull. So let's look at Max Verstappen. The answer is mentioned here, Max Verstappen. He belongs to Netherlands. Netherlands. Uh, those of you are not familiar with the spelling, Netherlands, Netherlands. He drives for Red Bull Racing. There is something more called a powertrain. Ignore it. Red Bull Racing. Then we have, see, for now the leader in the world, in the current leader is a guy called Charles Leclerc, but he finished second in this race. So this was second, and third is not mentioned anyway. He belongs to a country called Monaco, and he drives for Ferrari. Okay, he drives for Ferrari. Okay. Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time world champion in Formula 1. 7-time. But last year, the world championship was won by Max Verstappen. 2021 world champion. Okay. The Junior World Cup of the International Shooting Sport Federation will be held in Suhl, which is in Germany. The International Shooting Sport Federation, ISSF, is in Germany. So I want you to write, it's in a place called Munich in Germany. Munich in Germany. And the president of this organization is a guy called Vladimir Russia. Vladimir Risin. You know, Turkey is going through a very, very bad domestic economic downturn. It's really in doldrums. So, Turkey's president is before that, capital Ankara, and the president is Recep Erdogan. Pronounced with an H. And their currency, this could be a question in the exam. Currency is lira. This is in a very bad shape. Okay. Legendary musician and Padma Vibhushan awardee Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma passed away due to cardiac arrest. He was associated with the Santur. And he received the Padma Vibhushan. I think he didn't receive Padma Vibhushan. He received Padma Bhushan, but let me check. I'm not very certain about this. I remember that he received the Padma Bhushan in 2001, but that's about it. And he received the Sangeet Natak Academy scholarship in 1996. No, 1986. Yeah, 1986. Sangeet Natak Academy Fellowship. He teamed up with a guy called Hariprasad Chaurasia. Hariprasad Chaurasia is a flautist, Basuri Vadak. The one who plays a flute is called a flautist. So Santur in his case, okay, and flautist in the case of Hariprasad Chaurasia. These two came together as Shiv Hari. So Shiv is Shiv Kumar Sharma and Hari is Hariprasad Chaurasia. They played musical compositions. They created music for films great films like Chandani, Lamhe, beautiful film, Lamhe, especially the songs, the music, very good stuff. You should watch if you haven't watched. Okay. Katalin Novak has been recently, elected as the first female president of Hungary. She's just 44 years old. She's 44 years old and she is the first female president of Hungary. The Prime Minister of Finland is Sanna Marin. Sana Marin. She is, Sana Marin. She is the youngest female head of state. Youngest female head of state. I think she was 32 when she became the Prime Minister of Finland. Italy, the Prime Minister is Mario Draghi. Ireland, Ireland has they don't use the term Prime Minister. They use the term, what is it? Taoiseach. Their position. This is the name of the office of the Prime Minister, Taoiseach. Okay, and this currently is Michael Martin. I think I read it here. Yeah, Michael Martin. Michael Martin. Greece Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Kyriakos Mitsotakis. Okay. Which is said to become the first state to offer breakfast in government schools along with midday meal scheme, Tamil Nadu. It's a very good thing, now. See, these schemes help a lot in terms of raising the enrollment and sometimes keeping the enrollment at a very, very high level. See, most parents wouldn't want their kids to do menial work, small jobs and everything. So they would want their kids to get education. And not only education, they also want the kids to have good food. So when they come to school, they can have both learning as well as food. That's the idea behind this particular scheme. Okay. So we have Kerala, Odisha. Kerala, India's the state with the highest sex ratio in India. Kerala is run by Pinarayi Vijayan. Andhra Pradesh, Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy. K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Okay. In the quarter ended 31st March 2022, which is the first Indian company to surpass a gross revenue of over $100 billion or about 7.9 lakh crore rupees. Reliance Industries clocked that much money, my friends. In 1 year, it made that much money. It's the turnover. Okay. All entities, retail, telecom, petroleum, yeah, textiles, everything included. Okay. So you have see, this is $100 billion. To give you a comparison, the world's biggest company by revenue is a company called Walmart. Last year, its revenues were $559 billion. This is 2021. 2022 are likely to be at $570 billion. Think about it. Yeah. So Walmart, which is a Kirana shop, departmental store, is 5 times bigger than Reliance Industries, more than 5 times bigger. Okay. It's owned by Mukesh Ambani. Aditya Birla Group, Grasim, Hindalco, they are partnered in Vodafone Idea. Okay. They own a company called Madura Garments, which owns Alan Solly, Peter England, Van Heusen. Fair? So Aditya Birla Group is run by Kumar Mangalam Birla. Kumar Mangalam Birla. He is a chartered accountant and also an MBA from London Business School. HCL Technologies, the current CEO is Vijay Kumar. Vijaya Kumar, one word. C. Vijay Kumar, CEO of HCL Technologies. HCL is Hindustan Computers Limited. HCL is Hindustan Computers Limited. It was started by a person named Shiv Nadar. Shiv Nadar is called the father of India's computer hardware industry. Father of India's computer hardware industry. Establishing very large production or manufacturing facilities to bring down the average cost of a single unit of production is known as economies of scale. Usually, if unit 1 has to be produced, it has a certain cost. The same, electricity and everything, the same, another unit could be produced. So the overall cost of production goes down as the production increases. The larger the output, the lower the cost of production. It's like buying you go to a vegetable vendor. Say, okay, give me one mango. The guy says, let's say 20 rupees. And you say 2. He says 40 rupees. So the price goes down as the number increases. That's the same case everywhere. Okay. Dash is capital of a business which is used in its day-to-day trading operations, calculated as the current assets minus current liabilities. Working capital. Working capital. In this class, I am going to discuss interest rates and everything, so we will not discuss this in detail. A Song of India has been authored by Ruskin Bond. Very, very, cool chap to read about. His books are amazing. Nirath C. Chaudhary was a government babu. Then he migrated to Britain at the age of 54. He went abroad and he wrote a book called A Passage to England. A Passage to England. Very controversial person. Okay. Bhisham Sani, extraordinary book he wrote. Tamas. Tamas means darkness. Yeah, the darkness of the partition, the horrors of partition. E.M. Foster, A Passage to India. A Passage to India. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my favorite writer, Raja Rao. I bet most Indians have not heard of him. Raja Rao is the extraordinary, is an extraordinary writer of the most extraordinary book, The Serpent and the Rope. Highly philosophical book, The Serpent and the Rope. He also wrote this great book called Kantapura. Oh, amazing guy. Very few people understand difficult things. Never mind. I also don't understand, but I try. I try harder. Okay, you look at this. This is what we mentioned in the previous session, that in this class we will discuss interest rates and all that. So here we are with the same question. As per the RBI's announcement on 4th May, this was an unscheduled press meet. They made this, there was no particular scheduled press meet. So they said that, okay, we have something important to discuss. So the press was there at the RBI headquarters. As per the RBI's announcement on the 4th of May, which of the following statements are true? They increased the repo rate to 4.4%. Earlier it was 4, now it's 4.4%. The CRR went up by 50 points, that is 0.5%. So currently the CRR is 4.5%. CRR has increased, meaning that 87,000 crore will be out of the liquidity, out of the system, and go into the lockers of the RBI. So what exactly is this all about? I want you to write cash reserve ratio. This is very, very important. So please write cash reserve ratio. I have a blank slide for this. Cash reserve ratio. Take this simple definition, then I'll break the definition into small parts. All commercial banks must keep a certain percentage of their total time and demand liabilities total time and demand liabilities in brackets deposits with the RBI. Total time and demand liabilities with the RBI. Okay. So next, current CRR is 4.5%. Current CRR is 4.5%. Okay. Now what does the definition say? It says that all commercial banks must keep a certain percentage of their what? Time and demand liabilities. Time liability, demand liability. What is a liability? A liability is a udhar, appu. Okay. It means in Telugu it's called appu, in Hindi it's called udhar. It means like, let's say you go to a bank. Okay. You go to, let's say, okay, you and I go to a bank. We deposit money into our accounts. To what we deposit is our asset, but for the bank it's a liability. The bank has to return our money to us, isn't it? So our deposit or our asset becomes a liability for the bank. So the bank always treats all deposits as liabilities. Okay, what it lends is its asset, but to stick to the CRR definition, let's look at something more. What does the definition say? It says a certain percentage of time accounts or time liabilities and demand liabilities has to be kept with the RBI. What is a time liability and what is a demand liability? A time liability is one in which if you put money, you can withdraw it only after a fixed period of time. Let me repeat. A time liability or a time deposit or a time account, all are one and the same. So a time account is one into which when you put money, you can withdraw it only after a fixed period of time. A very good example would be fixed deposit. Fixed deposit, then recurring deposit. Let's say you have 50,000 rupees with you. You go to a bank and tell the manager, Mr. Manager, I have 50,000 rupees. I want to put in FD, 1 year FD. The manager will give you a challan and you fill in the challan and all these things. Okay. Then he would say, okay, sir, you have your FD and they give you a proof also. They give you normally a proof like this, they say, okay, why don't you, fill in the required details, and once everything is over, they give you a challan, which proves that you have kept your money with the bank. So you can withdraw this money. Look, theoretically you cannot withdraw this money, but practically you can withdraw this money. You can withdraw this money anytime you like. What you lose is interest. On paper, you can withdraw it only after a fixed period of time, but in real life, you can withdraw it anytime you like. Now, what's a demand account? A demand account is one into which when you put money, you can withdraw it on demand. Whenever you demand, the banker has to return your money. A good example would be savings account, current account. So when money is put into savings account or current account, you can withdraw it whenever you like. Whenever you like. You have a savings account, you put some cash into that, you can withdraw it anytime you like. So on your demand, the banker has to return you your money. That's why it's called demand account. Now, a certain percentage of these accounts has to be kept with the RBI. That's what the CRR says. The current CRR is 4%. Sorry. It was 4%. Let's take this. Okay. Then 4%. Now 4.5%. The RBI says, let's say you're all commercial banks and the RBI. The RBI says all of you commercial banks have to keep a certain percentage of whatever you collected from the public with me. You have to keep a certain percentage with me. Meaning you cannot use this money for lending and other purposes. So CRR is, let's say, in April it was 4%. April it was 4%. So 4% of whatever you have collected has to be kept with me. Okay. But then as RBI, I have increased the CRR from 4% to 4.5%, which means now you have to keep more cash with me. More cash. How much we saw in the previous slide? 87,000 crore rupees. An increase in the CRR by 0.5% will take out 87,000 crore from the system. So 87,000 crore will come from you into my lockers. So if 87,000 crore comes, what happens to the money supply in the market? MSC's money supply decreases. When money supply decreases, interest rates always increase. The supply of money, the supply of money is limited, but the demand is always there. And especially when the supply goes down because of a rise in interest CRR, interest rates spike. When interest rates spike, what happens? Things become expensive. Loans become expensive. You have borrowed money, that becomes expensive. You have bought a house, the EMI outgo goes, it goes up. I'll come to that in a while. So interest rates go up. Take the opposite side. I say now, don't keep 4%. You can keep 3.75%. If I say 3.75%, what will happen? I will release money into your hands. Okay? 0.25% I release. What will you have? More money supply. So money supply increases. When CRR is decreased, money supply increases. When money supply increases, what happens to the interest rates? Interest rates always decrease. Interest rates always decrease when supply of money is high. Because the supply is everywhere, people to attract banks, to attract people, to attract customers, they reduce interest rates. Okay? And you will always go to a bank which offers you a loan at the lowest possible rate, isn't it? Interest rates are reduced, and when interest rates are reduced, a lot of things happen. Now let's take the upper scenario. When interest rates are high, do you spend or save? When interest rates are high, you always save, because when interest rates on deposits go up, okay, you are like, why should I spend now? Why can't I put the money aside and I can use it? My money will earn money. Okay. But then, if you borrowed money, let's say a home loan, then the EMI goes up, because home loan typically is it's always set around floating rate of interest, floating interest rate. It's always floating. So if the interest rate goes down, you benefit because of a lower EMI. But the interest rates increase, you have to pay more. So when interest rates loans go up, what happens? Not just home loans, bike loans, car loans, business loans. So you normally want to borrow from a bank. Let's say you're a business person, you want to borrow 10 crore rupees. So bank will raise the interest rates. So when interest rates increase on loans, what happens? It eats into your cost of production. Yeah, it adds to your cost of production, eats you into a profit. So interest rates increase, you will adjust that into cost of production. As cost of production increases, the final price will also increase. As the final price increases, you have a situation where more and more people can't afford things. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called inflation. Inflation arises when the demand is more and the supply is less. When the demand is more and supply is less. Simple definition. Okay. And inflation reduces purchasing value of paisa, purchasing value of rupee. Inflation always reduces purchasing value of money. When prices go up, your money buys less. If you have, let's say, 100 rupees, your 100 rupees. With 100 rupees, earlier you could buy 4 kg of nimbu. 4 kg of nimbu, because each kg costs 25 rupees. Okay. Now you are able to see the price has gone up to 50 rupees. Now you are able to buy only 2 kilos. Got it? Yeah. If the price goes up to 40, you can buy 2.5 kilos. Purchasing value, the amount money can buy, the stuff that money can buy always decreases when prices increase. Okay, so the RBI is worried about rising inflation. So the RBI says, let's increase interest rates. Let's increase interest rates. As interest rates rise, people will stop taking loans because loans are cheaper today. People borrow a lot of money. So loans will become expensive. As loans become expensive, people will not tend to borrow. If they don't borrow, they don't have demand for, they don't have purchasing power. When they don't have purchasing power, they also okay, I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have purchasing power, which means that I won't demand goods and services. So meaning, when you don't have money, your purchasing power decreases. When purchasing power decreases, the demand for goods and services decreases, and consequently prices also decrease. The idea is to decrease prices by decreasing demand. How do you decrease demand? By raising interest rates. Okay, so a lot of things here. We'll stick to that. We'll end this here. So think about this. Will you save or spend when interest rates are high? When interest rates are low, will you save or spend? When interest rates are low, you will borrow money to spend, to buy a bike, buy a laptop, buy a phone and all that. Okay? And that creates stimulation for the economy. To push the economy towards growth, interest rates are generally lowered. Since 2020, interest rates have been decreased, have been going down except now. Yeah, they are rising now. Okay? So always be careful when you borrow money. Okay? Thank you for being here. Thank you. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious.